Hi exclusive. It's another interview. We're here to speak about something very interesting. Knowing there's some connection about food, I have got involved in this. I'm telling you, I'm shooting at Häcker Kitchen. If you have not been here, it's a winter wonderland for someone who wants to make their dream kitchen a reality. It's actually the place. Everything looks so stylish, so 2040, it's so beautiful. It's very futuristic yet elegant and beautiful and so convenient. Actually, it's where you have the whole family coming together, the kitchen. You really want it to look fabulous and at the same time convenient so that you can spend some quality time. Today I'm going to be speaking about this brand in Sri Lanka and also about the experience purchasing something and having it at your own home sweet home. To speak more, of course, I have two big guns here. I'm just going to keep it very informal so that they'll feel more relaxed. I'm very happy to have Mr. Willie. Thank you so much for coming all this way for this quick chat with us, and I'm sure you had so much of work to do. He's the board assistant for Asia, Pacific and Africa. Thank you so very much for joining us today. And also I have Safraz Kareem. Thank you for joining me. He's from our own country. He's the director CEO of Finco Trading. Thank you for joining me today. How are you feeling?
Wonderful. Always when I arrive in Colombo, I feel wonderful. In this Sri Lanka island, I feel such a dynamic, and it's always good feeling also to be part of it.
Brilliant. Okay, so I have been here once before, and walking through the doors itself welcomes you to such a beautiful interior. It's so warm. Tell me about your company and how has it been heading it?
Finco Holdings is a privately owned organization which has diversified businesses from leisure, IT, construction consultancy, manufacturing, trading and travel. So Häcker is a part of our trading business, and we are very honored and privileged to be a partner of Häcker, which is such a renowned brand around the world.
I wanted to ask you, in terms of Häcker being a German brand, tell me about it and also about how it is received worldwide. You've traveled a lot with this brand, so tell me.
Thank you, Danu. Look, let me tell you, we are, first of all, we are one of the oldest kitchen manufacturers in Germany. It was founded already in 1898. And I guess we contributed a lot to the development of the kitchens, of the today's design and the today's function. Mr. Häcker was a lot involved in that time, also developing the modular kitchen, which was called in 1927 the Frankfurter kitchen. And throughout the years, he put a lot of his passions into cooking and kitchens. That's why Häcker today is, I guess, we are in the upper and individual kitchen field, biggest manufacturers on the highest automation skills in the world.
Brilliant. And 4 generations, it's not an easy task. They've always stood through time, which is great. So buying a German product to a Sri Lankan, how would you guarantee it? Because for us, we just want to know more about it before we put it into our own house.
Häcker, first of all, is a pure German company. We even source our goods, you can say, 85% from Germany only, not even from Europe, because quality standard has first priority in our philosophy of the brand. Second thing is we need to have a perfect logistic, and everything must arrive in time. So it's always the best thing when you work with German sub-supplier industries, because the requirements, our standards, our Häcker standards, which we require from the sub-supplier industry, are much higher than the individual retail standard for the furniture industry in Germany. For instance, we produce everything on Carb 2 level, which is much more healthy environment than when you do the normal standard level of E1, which is a formaldehyde degree for the German furniture and kitchen industry. And so the best thing for us to have the best available quality level for all the parts where we build the kitchen out of it, and to have everything perfectly in time, and that also, and because of that, also perfectly installed in time at the client's place. We need to have our network, our sub-supplier network around us. That's why 85% you can say is coming from Germany only. And a few technologies, also Italians are quite good. We buy some parts also from Italy.
That's amazing. Knowing about the brand Häcker, I'm sure it would have been an easy decision for you to take in terms of partnering. But what made you partner on a personal level and also from a company point of view?
So Häcker is one of the largest luxury customized kitchen brands in the world. And what in our strategy of growing in the next 5 years, one of the things we did is we did a comprehensive market research, and we found that there is a gap in Sri Lanka for this particular segment. So, I mean, obviously we would like to tie up with the #1 in the world, and then we approached them, and they were good enough to partner with us, and it's been a fantastic ride, I have to say.
So that now Häcker is in Sri Lanka, and Sri Lanka is a country that's blessed with all types of temperature, all types of weather conditions. We can see the most coldest to the warmest place within a day if you want to. But especially something that we always hear is when you have bought a house close to the beach, they always say, oh, things are getting corroded, or this is the problem. But what is the assurance when you buy a Häcker product? Like, have you all understood this market before you all brought it here?
No, I'm very grateful for that question, especially for this question. Because we do not go into a country and export kitchens just because we got a nice letter or some promises from a distributor in a market. No, we study the market, first of all, carefully. And maybe this is also the reason why we are, in the meantime, the biggest exporter into Asia, Pacific, Africa, in this region. For Sri Lanka, we understood very clearly what is the social habits, what is the social lifestyle, and what is the role of the kitchen for it. Secondly, we understand the habits of the Sri Lanka women, which is a very demanding customer, highly educated level, and the way of their cooking, and especially, and that was a critical point in not only in Sri Lanka, also in South India, Kerala, Thailand, Singapore, where we made big projects, those countries sitting directly at the equator. And you have to take care with the products. Now you can buy a chipboard for 50 cents a square meter. You can buy a Carb 2 tropicalized standard FPY board for 38 euro a square meter. You can get cheap kitchens in the market, you put them at the beach, you put them in the high tropic climate, and it bumps up everything. After a few years, your kitchen is gone. When you make it serious and properly from the beginning, like we do, and buy the right materials for this kind of climate, the kitchen lasts forever. So even you pay for a Häcker a little bit more at the beginning, when you make the calculation over the lifetime, we are actually too cheap, I would say. Yeah? To answer your question, yes, we made our homework. We study the market, the climate very well, and this is why any kitchen, any single piece of our kitchen is completely tropicalized, and it has also another fantastic extra standard, which is Carb 2, which, just to make it short, it makes maybe your life longer because it reduces the formaldehyde emission rather by half.
Oh, wow. Excellent. All right, we're going to get into a break right here on Hi Exclusive. When we do come back, I want to ask, there are so many people who, you know, have so much to say, saying that, oh, we also get everything from Germany. But is it actually a German product? We'll speak more when we do come back. Please stick around. Everything is so fancy when you come to Häcker Kitchen. You get to enjoy your own type of coffee that you like to have. So that's why we took the break. All right, I do want to speak to you about the real German product. Everyone can promise something. How do you identify as a consumer?
Look, as a professional, of course, you can identify immediately on the finishing, on the etching work, on the laminate finishing. You have, for everything, you have different levels. As a professional, it's very easy to identify what has been really done in Germany, what not. As a non-professional, you have, of course, always to trust a little bit the brand, and in Asia, unfortunately, in these countries, there are sometimes a little bit stories which I hear also from different people, which you can believe or not, but bring a little bit insecurity in the market. We assure everything is even a German product, what we build out the entire Häcker out of it, and we get certification as a pure German manufacturer. Also the transport papers confirms once again that everything comes from Germany. And on top of it, I guess this is most important, Häcker is a pure family-driven company. And the owners have this very strong, old German attitude, the pride of the name, and the quality must be the best. Since it is not a stock market listed company, the owners would never ever accept anything else than the best quality out of the kitchen, and everything must be pure German origin. So on top of it, this attitude throughout the generations was bringing up to a level in Europe that the housewives, for them, the synonym of a kitchen in Europe is a Häcker. We hear stories that mama gives a present to the wedding to the daughter, but it must be a Häcker, otherwise she considers it's not worth the investment, because her own Häcker kitchen is already 45 years old and works perfectly and is operated for everyday use. This is why you can rather, without too much overstatement, say Häcker becomes a benchmark in the kitchen industry in Europe. And I guess we are a little bit proud of it, because nothing was bought from an engineering office. Everything was developed throughout the generations since 1898 from our fantastic employees, which are very committed to Häcker. Most of them start their job in Häcker and they retire in Häcker, which collects in that long time, of course, a huge source of experience which made Häcker out of it what is Häcker today. And that's why our production technology, the logistics system, you cannot buy from the market. It's a pure own development, in-house development. Even in our entire software system is developed by our own IT department, and that provides an additional extra point of difference for the client, because we are very flexible. We can respond to any change of the market in no time, and it gives us also the flexibility to act really global. We are one of the biggest, at the same time maximum flexible according to the market needs. And that is, I guess, a wonderful achievement, that we keep these modular-driven style of a company, even with that size. The last decade, we was, I guess, the fastest growing company in the kitchen industry, and we want to grow faster in the future. We want to grow faster in the future because we count a lot and we expect a lot from the international market. In Europe, you can say, yeah, Häcker is a market leader. And if you allow me to say, I don't want to push it too high, but we counted the future for the next century. We focus on the export market. And we do it differently than others. I know that a lot of people say, put the name and they produce it locally. This is where your question came beforehand, maybe. No, Häcker, no. We have two factories, one in Rödinghausen, the other one in Venne, which is just 20 minutes away from each other. And there we produce each screw, each panel, each cabinet, each door front. And for the time being, we are doing roughly 14,000 cabinets a day. But we are prepared to double up, and we have the capacity for it. And to double up, we will take it out, or we plan to take it to serve these capacities to new markets. And our focus is the Indian bloc. India, Colombo, and the Chinese bloc, and very much Pacific countries, mainly Australia and New Zealand, where we are already very successful as well.
Excellent. So looking at the world here, now I just wanted to ask you, in terms of the luxury brand, do you see a potential growth in the future in Sri Lanka?
Yeah, Dano, I mean, Sri Lanka has been developing in the last decade, and with high-rise, luxury high-rise condominiums coming up, with Port City coming up in the next few years, I think there is going to be huge potential for this quality product out there in Sri Lanka, and I think we being able to make sure that we're here now is definitely going to help us in the future.
Which gives us a reason to know that, you know, it's going to be something that's going to be looked at as a top of the list product to purchase before they move into their places. And also, we were talking about designs and how you all have curated to different areas of the world. How often do you change the designs? I'm sure if a mum has bought it 45 years ago and then their daughter is going to own it, or their son-in-law is going to own it, there is going to be a significant change, like the 70s, the 80s, and now it's very sleek and you just don't want to see anything. You want it to be so subtle. How often do you change the designs?
Every day if it's needed.
That's great then.
But to keep it more practical, of course we are in close contact with the top designers on this globe, and they give generally the influence of trend. Plus, what I said beforehand, we are in close contact with our global family. Our global family is a database from our treasured existing clients. And in this dialogue, we learn every day what's going on. With the influence of the top designers of this world, we create, it's an ongoing process. If we do not change in 2019 or in 2020, it's an ongoing process. And this ongoing process with a close ear to the market is shown in each break where we put it into visualization, means into the innovation of the product. We introduce it every year, one time during our house show in September, where everybody is most welcome and invited, and it gives also
to come and see and experience.
All the global dealers, partners, distributors, importers, and also end consumers, and sometimes celebrities from Dubai Hills, from Fereshte. They sometimes coming up to see really what is behind it. They are so proud on their Häcker, and they enjoy so much the lifestyle with a different quality of cooking and environment. Then they want also to see what is behind it. So we combine it a little bit with a big party every September, and of course we have a big show in without pandemic and without Corona every second year in Milano, which is, I guess, for the time being, the biggest international platform for the furniture and kitchen industry. And this is where we show the cut of the developments. Right. But the development is an ongoing process. And I guess this is the second reason why we grow so fast. We have continuously the ear on the market, because Finco Group will tell us different demands than the guy from Uganda. And Nigeria will definitely ask for something else than South Africa or Australia. And it's our job to combine it and to find out how we can have synergy out of it and get the most out of it.
And at the same time, maintain the Häcker look and feel to it as well. Excellent. All right, I have to ask you, are you using Häcker at home?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. I don't think you can say no. I want to ask you, how is the experience using it now as a consumer?
It's amazing. I mean, I was using a local manufactured kitchen earlier on, and you can see the differences in specifications, in the look and the feel, and it's a completely different and it's a completely different experience. I would put it down to more experience rather than a
Everything is so
product.
smooth.
Yeah, correct.
Even those just close like.
Yeah, it's soft closing.
Yeah.
It's got the works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing, and I think I'm more excited about the exhibition and the party that happens in September. I think we need to be there for that.
Most welcome.
Oh, thank you so very much. So, final words to those who are watching us right now, and if they're planning on, moving into a new place or starting a life together, they might be having dreams about, getting their stuff together, and there's an ideal place for you to come and pick and choose, get the expert advice, and also have a brand that's going to grow old with you, and you're going to have your kids, your grandkids all eating in this one happy place where you make memories. So I think it's an investment for life. Can I say it that way for Häcker?
You hit the nail. You hit the button.
Brilliant, excellent. So thank you so very much for joining me today and giving us an insight to all that happens here. It's a beautiful place. If you want to come check it out, it's so close to Golf Face as well. So it's just a walk away for you to come and experience it firsthand before you take it to your homes. Thank you so very much for joining us, and thank you for joining us. We will see you with another cool episode 2 Hi exclusive. Till then, you can smile.